King, His Royal Majesty Yokama of Ikuru, was released from his abductors over the weekend after spending more than 1 month in captivity, SP Omoni said. Mr. Basoine, through intense pressure, led the rescue team to the thick forest in Abisa. The spokesman said the king was released as a result of a robust synergy with the police and other sister security agencies. The statement further added that King Dr. Aaron Miller, while narrating his ordeal in the hands of his abductors, expressed gratitude to God Almighty and others who made his release possible. Now, correspondent Soibi Oruwari reports that earlier the Commissioner of Police, Boko Friday, led his officers to the residence of the Monarch, even as he thanked God for the release and commended his men for the feat. CP noted that on assumption of duty, he was confronted with the incident, but however put in place adequate machinery to ensure the safe and unconditional release of the king and his kinsmen, Dr. Jones Aiwu, who were kidnapped in separate incidents on the 21st of February 2021.
So I called UC, the anti-kidnapping, and I charged them that everything possible must be done. Whatever they want to assist in work, to have to involve Navy too, because they have a more secure gunboats. But so that will assist us. First of all, they made one arrest. The first arrest we made, that one did not give us much more information. But along the line, we were going to arrest one warrior for Kofi. That one was very useful. Because the person took us to the place that he went. So he knew everybody that did it. He knew where he went. So we went there, or reaching there, we had just left. We saw the clothes. I'm really very happy that you are here. No injury, nothing.
All right, so we must commend the CP and, of course, the River State Police Command for their efforts. At least the two men have been released. But what must be done to ensure that the kidnapping does not even happen at all? My guest, Dennis Amachree, joins me via phone. He's a security expert, and, of course, he has the answers to our questions. Good morning, Mr. Amachree.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure. Now, we've noticed that kidnapping is seasonal. It's like some businesses that boom around some times of the year. And I don't know if there's a pattern, but what informs the wave of kidnappings? Are there times or factors that influence a particular increase in the rate of kidnapping in an area?
Well, I don't really think it's seasonal because we have been in this season of kidnapping since 2015 or 16. So it's a regular thing right now across Nigeria. It's one of the highest security threats that we face as a nation. We are next as one of the highest areas where kidnapping takes place in the world. So I don't think it's seasonal, but for some areas, it is very low, and in some areas it's very high. But it is funny that we are having this even in the River State, for instance, because if you remember very well, this was where some of the kidnappings in Nigeria started. But that time it was not for ransom; it was to prove a point. But now it's for us. People are interested in the money, and it has gone like wildfire across the country.
All right. Now, we would obviously prefer that it does not happen, but we're recording success in the sense that our police officers are helping to ensure the release of people who have been abducted. I know that this question has come up many times, and really asking it just feels like a broken record, but what must we do to ensure that we don't even have cases of kidnappings rather than trying to rescue people who have been kidnapped?
Yes, of course. People have to be proactive about kidnapping because it is anybody could be a target. Anybody could be a target, and we know that, like in the north right now, school children are the target. School children, especially schools, girls' schools. In the south, it is high net worth individuals, people who have money, or those who are connected to those people who have money. You know, those are the two, the differentiation there. So it is not just people who have money trying to protect themselves and with security and going around. They could also be people who are related to those people who are not covering themselves with security. So it's a very tight situation. But importantly is the ability to identify what is going on, and then of course be situationally aware. You have to be security aware of the environment in such a way that it will deter or minimize their chances of being kidnapped.
Okay. Now, we do not have enough police officers. We are helplessly under-policed, and so many have recommended that technology would make for the shortcoming of manpower. Do you think that we have the capacity, and I say this because there are problems around funding of the police force, do we have the capacity to deploy the required technology to help us fight kidnapping and other crimes?
Yeah, of course. We have the required technology, and I think I'll commend the Nigerian police, especially the Inspector Rapid Response Team of the head, whom I know very well. They've been doing a very good job. But what the police could do is to increase this capability, increase it across the country, whereby, kidnappers can be traced, kidnappers can be arrested, and then, of course, prosecuted. Because what we find here is that although some kidnappers are being arrested, they are not prosecuted. They stay in detention and stay there, and everybody forgets about it, and then, of course, maybe one way or the other, they are released. So there is need for the prevention, and of course, the for those who have been arrested to, of course, be prosecuted.
Okay. Now,
yes,
I'm not sure if you were still talking, or I'm not quite certain what the network was doing there. But another question connecting to technology, with the NIN, registration, with every SIM card registered to a name and obviously supposed to be traceable, we're hoping that at this point it will be easier to trace who is making a call to who to demand ransom. Now, I don't know what the police deployed for the case of the Monarch and, of course, the lecturer of Uniport. But shouldn't we have at least seen some improvement since the NIM was made mandatory?
You know that there are still some phone numbers that NIMs have not been registered.
Yeah, the process is ongoing.
Yeah, some NIMs have not been registered. So the kidnappers are still using different kinds of NIM. And then, of course, the phone of the victims. So these are things that slows it down. But there is technology that, of course, can locate that code. And then, of course, kidnappers, some of them have become too wise. They do so far place, and then, of course, keep the victim in a different place. But that is not a deterrence to pure technology. And then we'll use that. And then, of course, the ransom payment. The police have to look at that again. There are also technologies to stop ransom payment. Because if you pay the ransom, the kidnappers are mainly worried about how to collect that ransom.
Yeah.
It's the largest part of kidnapping. And, of course, if the police deploy that technology, it will be so difficult for kidnappers to collect the body.
Okay. Now, finally, on this particular case, the River State Police Command has a suspect, and so we're hoping that somehow it leads to other things. What must be done at this point? Because, again, as you said earlier, we've seen the handling of suspects done wrongly. What do they need to do to ensure that this actually leads to the result that we are looking for?
Thank God for little mercy. If they have a suspect, that's great news. And I hope it's the right suspect. I hope it's not just a peripheral suspect. So if it's the right suspect, yes, of course, take it through the interrogation process And then, of course, from that, we'll have other arrests. And then, of course, we'll get to the root cause of how this all started. But I think the police should go ahead and use good interrogation techniques in getting out the information from it.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Amachree, for your time. We appreciate it. Have a lovely day.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. Okay, so my guest says kidnapping is not seasonal. It's always been there. Now, you and I might not always be exposed to headlines. It might seem like it's on the increase at some point, but he claims we have always had it. Maybe we've just not been listening. Coming up shortly, I'll be speaking with a security expert as to how, a security tech consultant rather, as to what technology specifically the police would need for this kidnapping issue. But we are grateful, I have to add that the Monarch from Andoni has been released, as well as the release of Dr. John Saiwo last week. We know there are many more cases that we may never hear about, but we're hoping that we have a River State and of course a Nigeria that is free of kidnapping. 0817-923-0002 0817-923-0003 0817-923-0007, and of course the female caller line is 0817-923-0009. The River State Police Command says it has arrested one suspect in connection with the kidnap of the Monarch, and of course that Monarch has been released. What do you make of the efforts of the River State Police Command? Good morning. Good morning. Go ahead.
Dr. John Saiwo and the subsequent release of this Monarch. Police for doing this and so on. So I hope.
Nathaniel, I'm sorry I had to let you go. I was hoping to clear up, but it did not. Good morning.
Mr. Zion, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Let me say a very big thank you to the Nigerian police amidst their efforts to rescue these two illustrious sons of River State from the hands of their abductors. But I still want to point on the River State government. A lot of youth and residents in this city are idle. Their minds are idle. They are not thinking well with the God-given capacity to retain memory. Can't the government engage these youth into meaningful activities? There are a lot of ventures that government can sponsor these youth into. I guess the people who kidnap these guys are not old men, are young men. In other clients, the government has given provisions for youth to create content on social media and other platforms to make money for themselves. The ICTC environment is so broad and vast, waiting for people to come in to accommodate everybody. The agricultural industry is waiting to accommodate everybody. Entertainment industry is waiting to accommodate everybody. What is the government doing? I don't like the case where the government will make announcements, oh, we just bought 350 pieces of hardware to the security agencies. We bought them guns and vehicles. I don't like that news. I want to hear a news. We just engaged 300,000 youth into social ventures. Look at the tourism sector. Abandoned. Look at the fisheries. We have lakes and rivers waiting for people to catch fish to export. What are they doing with it? These youths are energetic. The truth is, why you see them commit criminality over energy in their body?
All right.
The energy they waste, the kinetic energy they waste.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zion. Good morning.
Good morning, Sam.
Good morning.
Jim.
Go ahead.
Yes. My take on this issue is that, let me first of all commend the Nigerian police for the release of the Monarch. But I must have to tell them to be proactive. To follow this, use their intelligence. To stop this criminal. We want to hear that they wanted to kidnap and they were caught before, kidnapping such people. And government. They should stop rewarding criminals, either by calling it amnesty or whatever. So let the police do what they do. Our government are those that are governing us, our governor, our president, is what to protect us. Let them do so. Because it is not enough. After all, nobody knows who that ransom was paid. That is what I want them to do, because that's my.
All right, thank you very much. Now, Jacob Sonny shares the sentiment of his last statement. That's the caller. Robust synergy, that means they paid. People are still doubting whether or not, asking questions rather, a ransom was paid. But the River State Police Command says intense pressure was what was used to help rescue the Monarch. After the break, I'll be speaking with a consultant, a security tech consultant, as to what technologies the police would need to help curb kidnapping. Don't go anywhere.
Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817-001-8162. That is 0817-001-8162. And let us connect you to your customers.
We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
2.3 Nigeria Info. My name is Sam Oracle Chinedu. Well, we woke up to good news that the Monarch that was kidnapped over a month ago has been released, and the River State Police Command has arrested a suspect in connection with the kidnap. But being proactive, we need to ensure that a kidnap does not happen. And our guest, Mr. Smith Didia, he's a security tech consultant. He's running things at Snow.net Technologies, people providing ICT security solutions. He joins me via phone. Good morning, Mr. Smith.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Sam.
How you doing?
Yes, I'm doing great. I thank God for the good news.
Yes, indeed. We're all grateful to God and to our police officers, of course. So,
Yes.
what technologies, I'm going to try to make this quick, what specific technologies does the police force in Rivers and maybe different parts of the world need to curb kidnapping in particular?
Okay, Mr. Sam, once again, I want to congratulate the Nigerian police for the effort. It's really not easy for what they have done. But then, looking at technologies that we need to use to curb crime and kidnapping, oftentimes we have enlightened people about what we call artificial intelligence. Security has passed the age of kinetic energy. And I can tell you that I also work closely with the police, and I tell you that they are really trying because they work practically with nothing. When it comes to do with technology anyway. They are trying. Some of them make effort to even buy some of those little ones they use. They buy them themselves. But the government also, they are also trying, because there's a program I watch, Security Watch, I think a Crime Watch, and I see in Abuja that they have most of these technologies. But then, the technologies I think we will need, and other countries are using, that's what we call eyes on innovation. Is a police technology. Eye on innovation is a police technology. It has to do with drones. It has to do with drones. And now, the drones, we need to have drones that will be flying around and in some of these areas. So let me just summarize it. I will list out the technology, but let me just make a base to say that the technology that drives every technology has to do with three things. In summary: access point, repeater, and bridge. Let me just bring a background so that I can list these technologies.
Please.
Now, if there is kidnapping, there is an access point, okay, where the kidnappers is being kept is an access point. And I also know that they call for ransom. Now, the point at which they are making the call becomes an access point to wherever they are. And there is what we call repeater, this technology. Now, the repeater is one that transmits it from where they are to where the receiver picks it. And as long as the receiver picks it, it becomes a bridge. Now, these 3 points are technology-driven points. The service providers sees these 3 points. As I'm talking to you now, if we want to know where I am now is an access point. Where you are is a bridge. The map that is transmitting this information from where I am now is being identified. If the service provider wants to get me, they can easily know the map that is transmitting, that accessing this my point now.
So that means the police must work with the telecom networks.
That is exactly what I'm trying to bring out as a base on this discussion. Now, this eye on innovation that is a police technology, it cannot work without these telecom ISPs or telecom companies. Now, do our police have eye on innovation? Now, there is a kidnapping incident and police is negotiating, most times you see the people you're looking for, you just see them walk past your street, walk past you, you won't even know that these are the people that did this. But if you have technology like Eye on Innovation, then this technology will not also work without a better biometric data and all that. So these are just the gap. Now we have them. We have what we call facial recognition software. Now, when you have a good database, you streamline or you scan or you synchronize the faces on that database. Now, when a policeman uses a facial recognition body camera, as he walks on the road, the camera will be able to detect some persons that have criminal tendencies. You have them because already the database has them already. So they need facial recognition cameras in their body. They also need biometrics, which of course I have also mentioned here that without biometrics, these things are not going to work well.
Okay.
Now, our police also need robots.
Robots?
It will robots, yes. It will look like too much thing, but then they need it. What do they need robots for? Now, something, the drone has been flying around about a particular place who they see as a target. Now, it is the robot they need to deploy to go in there so that even if when the robot is being harmed, because I've seen a situation where they say they've spotted the target, but they wouldn't want to use force so that it will not affect the victim.
Yeah.
But with the use of robots, you can see that we can aid this aspect. We can comfortably bring these persons. Another technology we need is what we call thermal imaging. Now, police needs this technology, and all of them are artificial intelligence. We need to go up from the normal kinetic area of policing, which we are suffering now, because you can see that at every point, police sometimes will use force to work on things. It's not like they like to use force, but it's because when you don't have anything, the thing you have becomes what you have to use.
All right.
I think that they are really trying on their own, but we need to help them. The government will need to come in, and as an individual too, we need to come in. Do we have surveillance security cameras even in our streets? I'm not even saying government roads now.
Mr.
In
Smith,
our estates and all of that.
Mr.
Yes.
Smith, I agree that the technologies you've listed would obviously, bring about some change. But we also understand that there are some things that if they do not form the foundation, if we don't have some things, some of these technologies cannot work. For example, the database you talked about, good connections as regards internet, a wonderful relationship between the police and telecom networks. Now, we know the challenges that we have right now. With our current state, our current position, with the epileptic almost anything, what can our River State Police start with before we get the database and before we get, the robots and all those things? At this level, the River State Police Command, what can they start with?
As simple as GPS tagging can solve this problem.
Okay.
We have GPS tagging. We have the internet service provider.
Okay.
We have the subscriber identification model provider. That is telecom companies. These two persons can do this job very well when it comes to do with kidnapping.
Okay.
The GPS tagging has to be linked to our subscriber identification model company.
Okay.
Where, because a kidnapper does not do much outside ransom. That is what is making it lucrative. Now, if you remove the ransom, it will no longer be there. So when you have been kidnapped or somebody has been kidnapped, there must be a communication from where the person is to the people or to the relatives of that person. So GPS tagging is number one. We don't need light for that one. We don't need power. We don't need anything.
Okay.
Another thing is synergy with the service providers. I have seen a situation, like I said, I work with police also hand in hand. I have seen a situation where we went to service providers to say, Something has happened. This person called me. He collected our money. We want to know where he is. We are talking to him. This is his number. We want to call him in your office.
Yeah.
And they declined that information over time. But this information is just what they can on a click, bam, in their system, and they just print it out and give to us. We should be able to know what. So GPS tagging is the number one. Another thing is the synergy between the service providers and the police.
Okay.
With this, I tell you, we can have 60 to 70% success rate when it has to do with crime.
Now, finally, Mr. Smith, are these technologies expensive?
They are not. They are not. The service providers are there already. Every SIM card that we're using, in as much as we said we need to link it up with me, you see what I said, that's just like an individual arrangement. But then, let's leave that aspect. They are not expensive.
Okay.
If each police station can have this, up to 4 or 5, and even if it's not for everybody, if you have 5 pieces of GPS tagging, it could be in a station. Once there's any issue, they stay in station and do this tracking. The ISPs are there already. They have established already. So we are not putting anything to them apart from having this relationship with them. And this will just go. These things are not too expensive. It's just that people have left the policing in the hand of the police and government. Individuals need to help police.
Okay.
Private sectors need to help police. We know how these people are. If you meet these people and discuss with them, you discover that even most times the DPOs and some of them use their money to even buy seats here that they are sitting in the office. Some of them come to the office and buy this technology themselves just to try to enhance their work. You see where people just left the policing in the hand of government, and the government also most times also do it in an inverse way, where they need to use technology. They will go and buy 20 cars and all of that. These are just old systems. So with this, I think GPS tagging and the relationship with the ISPs, Sam, I tell you, we can get 60 to 70% results.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith, for your time. We appreciate it. Have a lovely day.
You too. Thank you very much.
Okay. So he has said that our solutions are not difficult to get. It's affordable. So why are we not thinking in that direction? Anyway, 7 minutes left on the clock. 0817-923-0002. The Andoni Monarch has regained freedom. A suspect has been arrested. What say you? Good morning.
Good morning, Oracle.
Good morning.
I'm Obina. How are you, my brother?
I'm wonderful. How you doing?
I want to let me not start commending police for now. I want police to upgrade more because most of their men are involved in this crime. Sometimes, most of their men. We remember the incident of them taking somebody to station, start using the person's card to go to government work, using somebody's private card at their arrest to start to face and start using it. And even the Omole have not come out to play all this before this incident. So I urge them to do more so that we believe in some of their statements. Okay. And this traditional ruler, the thing has taken a lot of time for them. The release takes time, so much time. I'm telling you. Because I don't see in this kind of the politicized kidnapping. They kidnap a traditional ruler. It's an evil act for you to kidnap a traditional ruler. Something is wrong somewhere. Traditional ruler should come and tell us what is going on for somebody to come and kidnap him. I keep him for so long like that. And police is playing games with people.
Well, Obina, it's an evil act for anybody to be kidnapped, irrespective of status.
But if you go on the road now, you see police collecting money from motorists. Come and start going to Abana, you see them pole to pole.
Okay.
And these things will happen. Even military are using civilians to collect money. I think Nigerian security have failed in different angles. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's why these conversations happen, because we talk for developments. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, hi, Sam. Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, Mustafa on the line.
Talk to me.
Yeah, thank you. See, quickly, let me say that I want to commend the police and, of course, other security agencies that were involved in the rescue or release of the Andoni Monarch. I think it's a good one. But we can still do more to ensure that most of these things are prevented, okay? I think the Nigerian police can be proactive fighting crime. Let us not begin to have situation whereby it's after these people have been kidnapped, they will not begin to put efforts to see that they are released and all of that. I also want to agree with your guest who has said that, you see, it's not more of kinetic approach. We can deploy drones. It is not rocket science. I keep saying that it is not expensive to join the rest of the world in applying digital method of policing. Enough of all this our analog system. Cameras can be placed in strategic locations. Drones can be deployed. Even street lights. I've said it before. You see these street lights that we are looking common. These street lights can prevent crime, including kidnapping. So these are the things that our leadership of this country, the security outfits should look at a way where they can bring in these things. It will make the policing easy for them. It's not, when you hear of people being kidnapped, they will not begin to run helter-skelter. So we keep doing this thing. It's like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It's not going to work.
All right.
So let us step up our game. It will help us a lot.
Thank you very much. Now we have 3 minutes that separates us from 9 a.m. And at that time, we're going to have conversations around the Burna Boy homecoming. A poll is up on Twitter, and of course, it has to do with the largesse. So the question is, what do you make of Governor Wike's largesse to entertainers at the Burna Boy homecoming? So go on our Twitter and make your voice heard. We'd like you to vote at Nigeria Info PH. Still taking your thoughts. It is a welcome development that the Monarch has been released and is alive. Kudos to the security operatives. It is just unfortunate that some mischievous people choose to paint our region with evil by taking him to Abissa, one of the Kalabari communities, Boma from Makokutoru, LGA. It's not their money. Instead, it's the money they collect on the road. They can use such fundraising to buy. Are you kidding me? The technology. Oh, really? My contribution on the issue is I want to thank CP Eboko Friday, one-time DPO, Transamadi Police Station and member local organizing committee in 1999. Please let the police stop the release of any kidnapped gang. Always jail immediately. This will stop more evil in the society, Chief Tony says. Back to the phones. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. I will want to tell anybody can be kidnapped at any time, especially with the border state of security in Nigeria and in Rivers State. Even if governors doesn't work and mention not move the security because it might be kidnapped. So for traditional rulers, I think it's not a taboo on the side of that traditional ruler. And no matter what they have done wrong, I think it's a taboo on the part of those people that have been kidnapped. So I think that being said, I think the security that is done has to be not only on the side of the police alone, but at least for those societies, you'll be able to offer information to the police who will go along with the copy system.
Okay.
For those who kidnap, I think this is important for them. If you think as you are young now, maybe between 20 and 30, you just you are youthful to kidnap. At the time you get to 70, 80s, when you are knees are wobble and you feel you can't walk again, I think it will be very difficult for you to earn a living. And at that time, you begin to know that it's very wrong to use a youthful period of time to do something that's not reasonable at all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's a very final call. Of course, it's a couple of seconds to the top of the hour. A comment on Facebook, I believe, but those comments reflect doubt. They're not certain whether or not a ransom was paid, but it tilts more towards the suspicion that it was. Well, the Monarch is free. We're hoping that this is the last, even though, well, there are doubts as you would imagine, but we are hoping that it's the last. But more importantly, River State Police Command, please take the recommendation of my guest and invest in these technologies, because whether or not you like it, it's an investment that will definitely help being proactive. Andrew is here for the news. After that, we talk about Burna Boy's homecoming. There seems to be a lot of money shared to a lot of talented persons, and now I'm considering going into music. Don't go anywhere.
92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. It's still the Morning Crossfire 92.3 Nigeria Info. My name is Sam, Oracle Chinedu. I'd like to share a story before I get into the story of the hour. Growing up, my mother asked countless times, Sam, my boy, what would you like to be when you grow up? And every time she asked, there was a different answer. Today I said lawyer, another day I said doctor. I don't know if I added engineer, but I did this because it seemed like that was the picture of success in my country, Nigeria. And she asked, wouldn't you like to be a musician? And I said, no, mommy, I don't want that. Many years later, I wish I had taken that advice because being a musician now is a big deal. Anyways, as always, I'm kidding. Welcome back. Now, mixed reactions have trailed the largesse the River State government shared over the weekend to artists who performed at the Burna Boy homecoming. The governor at the event, among other things, gifted Damini Ogulu, known as Burna Boy, a land in OGRA and money to build a house on it. He also gifted the other artists 10 million naira each. So let's get the sound from that.
Now, for all the other artists who performed tonight, I don't know what you have agreed, but all of you that have come to